it is bad news for Donald Trump and his adult children. That is because Donald, Don Jr., and Ivanka have now been ordered to give depositions under oath in the civil investigation into their family's business dealings led by New York Attorney General Letitia James. James' office has been conducting a 3-year investigation into the Trump Organization's finances and whether Trump artificially inflated and deflated the value of his assets for loan and tax purposes. Last month, James tweeted that her office had uncovered significant evidence that the Trumps did just that. In his ruling today, the judge stated, in the final analysis, a state attorney general commences investigating a business entity, uncovers copious evidence of possible financial fraud, and wants to question under oath several of the entity's principles, including its namesake. She has the clear right to do so. The investigation started after Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, testified to Congress in 2019 that Trump and his employees had manipulated his net worth to suit his financial interests.
To your knowledge, did the president ever provide inflated assets to an insurance company?
Yes.
And where would the committee find more information on this? Do you think we need to review his financial statements and his tax returns in order to compare them?
Yes, and you find it at the Trump org.
Do you know, to your knowledge, was the president interested in reducing his local real estate bills, tax bills?
Yes.
And how did he do that?
What you do is you deflate the value of the asset, and then you put in a request to the tax department for a deduction.
Attorney General James responded to the decision, writing in part, "Today, justice prevailed. No one will be permitted to stand in the way of the pursuit of justice, no matter how powerful they are. No one is above the law." The Trumps now have 21 days to show up and answer questions under oath. The lawyer for Don Jr. and Ivanka released a statement indicating that it's likely they will appeal. It should be no surprise, of course, that Donald Sr. will likely do the same. Joining now, Tim O'Brien, senior columnist at Bloomberg Opinion, and Tristan Snell, former Assistant Attorney General of New York. Thank you both for being here. And I want to play very quickly, because Letitia James also responded to Donald Trump's assertion that this investigation is simply reverse racism, right? Because she is black, the current top prosecutor in the state is also black, or she and the DA are black, sorry, and there's also a black Attorney General investigating him out of Georgia. Here's what she had to say to that charge.
No one is above the law, and that I pursue cases based on evidence, based on facts, and based on analysis of the law. Now, the politics stop at my door. He will not evade us. He will not stop us from investigating into ensuring that individuals, no matter what title they hold, are following the law, and I'm confident that we will win.
You know, and the other thing that he should be confident about, Tristan Snell, is that Letitia James is not going to be scared away by threats or by, whatever it is that he wants to say about her. And she also has a pretty darn good track record when it comes to shutting down his charities that they were operating that really weren't real charities. And Trump University, she has a decent track record. Your thoughts?
The office is one of the only entities that has managed to hold Donald Trump accountable. The New York Attorney General's office, and I'm proud to have been a member of that office and worked on the Trump University case. I'm still going to say we, I can't help it. We actually held the man accountable, and very, very few people have. They are not afraid to go after him. They've gone toe-to-toe with him and his lawyers a bunch of times. They're not going to stand down on this. They're going to keep fighting.
And the thing is, who does not have a really good track record, Tim O'Brien, is Donald Trump. He's been deposed, right? I mean, you had the pleasure of having deposed him, and this is from that deposition. This is in 2007. This was a lawsuit about his net worth. Ta-da! And he was asked, Mr. Trump, have you always been completely truthful in your public statements about your net worth or properties? He said, I try. And then Mr. Kerosene asked him, have you ever not been truthful? And he said, my net worth fluctuates, and it goes up and down with the markets and with my attitudes and feelings, even my own feelings. But I try. This does not sound like a strong defense, Tim.
His defense is I make it up. That's sort of the distillation of what he just said there. In another part in the same deposition, Joy, we were asking how he calculated profits and losses at his golf courses. And he said, well, I don't keep any paper records of those things. And our lawyer said, well, then how do you know? And he said, I use mental projections. And I've always thought that the term mental projections could define so many things in Donald Trump's life, including when he mentally projects racism onto a judge, even though I don't think any politician in the modern era has weaponized racism in our culture on the political stage to the extent that Donald Trump himself has. And I think that I think right now he's very cornered. That screed that he went on the other night that got all over social media about, displaying the kind of personal animus he has towards Tish James as well as the Manhattan District Attorney's office are evidence of, I think, obviously, he can't handle criticism at all in small doses. But this is really a measure, I think, of how cornered he feels by these lawsuits. He is going to have to testify under oath at some point, even if he continues to try to avoid doing so. When that occurs, these prosecutors are going to put paper across the table and hold him to account. It's a very new scenario for him in that regard.
Well, and he can't lie, right? Because here's the thing, Judge Tristan, like if he goes and he lies in those depositions, that's a crime, right? So he's sort of cornered, and they either have to tell the truth and damn themselves because your own lawyer admitted this under oath to Congress that you do this. So you either have to lie and get in trouble, and go down for perjury, or you have to tell the truth, and then that can, in theory, I guess, be used against him in a successive case.
So the kicker is that in a civil case, those statements can all be used against him, including any attempt to plead the fifth. So if he pleads the fifth in this matter, which is a civil prosecution, effectively right. It's a civil investigatory matter, it can be used against him. The trier of fact judge liability.